Welcome back to the deep dive. Imagine an accusation so terrifying, so utterly chilling, that it causes an entire family to just abandon their ancestral faith overnight.
Wow.
Yeah. Today, we're delving into just such a story. We're going to reveal how fear, belief, and, the intricate threads of karma intertwined to shape a family's destiny across
This
generations.
sounds intense.
It really is. Our mission today, and we've got some fascinating personal narratives and insights from a Buddhist teacher, is to unpack this family's journey.
Right.
We'll explore the raw power of belief, the sheer weight of actions, and maybe find some wisdom that can guide us through life's complexities.
It's a truly fascinating case study, I think. It gives us this unique lens into the real-world impact of, well, spiritual choices and past actions.
Mm,
These sources really show us just how deeply belief can run and sometimes how quickly it can shift when, fear enters the picture.
exactly. So we'll be distilling these stories, trying to understand the underlying principles. Let's unpack this.
Yeah.
So our story begins with the family's patriarch Pooh. He falls gravely ill in a small village in Thailand. Now here's where it gets really interesting.
Hmm.
A local spirit medium, pretty common in many folk traditions, steps in and claims Pooh is a pob.
A pob. What's that exactly?
For anyone unfamiliar, a pob is this, like, terrifying ghost believed in some Southeast Asian folklore to, well, consume the internal organs of humans.
Oh, wow. That's graphic.
Yeah, and the impact was immediate.
Yeah.
Devastating, really. Pooh became an outcast, shunned by villagers who were just consumed by fear. They basically saw him as this dangerous monster.
And you can see how that would happen, the power of that specific folk belief. It's incredible how quickly it can just override everything else, social norms, even existing faith.
Absolutely. So in this climate of terror and, ostracism, a new religious group later identified as Christian offered what seemed like a solution.
Okay, a way out.
Exactly. They promised, convert and you won't become a pob because you'll worship God who protects against such evil. They framed it as a direct contrast to Buddhism, which in their telling was linked to revering spirits, not just monks.
Interesting framing.
Very. And the family faced this huge decision. Pooh, along with Ya, the paternal grandmother, and his uncles and aunts, they chose to convert, driven directly by that visceral fear of the pob.
The whole family, almost.
Almost. But here's the crucial contrast, and it's powerful. Our listener's father, he remained steadfast in Buddhism.
Just him.
Just him, the only one in the entire family who didn't yield. Which, raises big questions. What happens when fear dictates faith? And what was the long-term impact of this decision?
Right, and if we connect this to broader Buddhist principles, the Buddhist teacher gives this really crucial clarification. It underscores why the father's choice was so significant.
Okay, what's the clarification?
Well, true Buddhism primarily reveres the triple gem. That's the Buddha, his teachings, the Dharma, and the monastic community, the Sangha.
Right, the core tenets.
Exactly. It does not venerate or revere spirits or ghosts like the Pob. Folk beliefs like that are, in the purest sense, an extraneous addition. They're not core to the original teachings.
So a true Buddhist focuses only on the triple gem.
That's what the teacher emphasizes, yes. Anything else, from that perspective, is a deviation.
That's a critical distinction then, separating the core spiritual path from, well, folk traditions that get layered on top.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes you wonder, if these folk beliefs are so separate, how do they get so entrenched? Especially in a place like Thailand, which is predominantly Buddhist, how do they gain such influence?
That's a really good question, and the teacher does shed some light on it. She points to this concerning trend, the explosion of spirit medium shrines called Tamnak.
Tamnak.
Yeah. Apparently, there are now over 100,000 nationwide. That vastly outnumbers the official Buddhist temples, which are just over 30,000.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
It is, and it represents what she calls a dangerous deviation from correct understanding. Historically, Tamnak meant something revered, like a royal residence. Now it's used for these spirit shrines. It kind of signifies this dilution where fear and superstition take precedence over the Dharma.
So people are seeking quick fixes, protection from things like the pob.
Exactly. They turn to these mediums, and that just strengthens the folk beliefs.
Okay, so given that context, this widespread deviation, the family's conversion, why did the listener's father hold out? What gave him that resilience against all that fear and pressure?
Well, according to the teacher's insights, his steadfastness came from significant spiritual strength. He had greater accumulated good karma from past and present lives within Buddhism.
Past actions played a role.
Definitely. But it wasn't just passive merit. Crucially, he'd also studied the Dharma more extensively. He had a deeper, more informed understanding.
Ah, so knowledge was key.
Yes. It prevented him from being swayed by the fear or, the superficial promises. His knowledge and his good karma basically acted as a shield. They anchored him.
That really highlights the difference between just like going along with things versus having a deep, informed faith.
Yeah.
Could you maybe elaborate on how that deeper understanding gives someone resilience, like beyond just knowing stuff?
Absolutely. It's not just intellectual. It's a more profound, almost intuitive grasp of cause and effect of karma.
Okay.
When you truly understand karma, you realize that fearing a pob is rooted in ignorance, not reality.
Yeah.
You grasp that your actions are your protection, not some external spirit or a quick promise.
Right. It shifts the focus inward.
Precisely. This deeper understanding helps you discern between genuine spiritual guidance and, frankly, superstitious fear-mongering. The why you believe becomes critical because it shapes your actions and cultivates an inner peace that isn't easily shaken by external threats or panic. It's like an internal compass.
That makes perfect sense. Developing internal strength instead of looking for external fixes. Okay, so we've seen how fear led to this massive shift in the family's faith and how understanding the Dharma provides an anchor. But the listener's sources go even further.
They do.
They give us this incredible chance to sort of connect the dots, trace specific life events across generations back to their karmic roots.
Yeah, it's quite detailed.
Let's start with what happened to those first family members who converted Pu, Ya, the uncle's aunts after they passed away. What do the sources say?
This part is really revealing. According to the teacher, Pu, Ya, and the others who converted to Christianity, they died and became what are called Fumathewa, earth-dwelling deities. They ended up in the same village area where they lived as humans. Apparently, they live kind of like villagers, but without needing to work or eat like humans do.
So like ghosts, but with a specific status.
Sort of. But the teacher clarifies something important. While they're called Fumathoa, their spiritual state is actually quite difficult. She describes them more like poor ghosts or Barnantai.
Poor ghosts? Why? Because the conversion didn't stick, spiritually speaking.
Exactly. Their adherence to Christianity was superficial. They mixed it with their old villager habits, like, unfortunately, killing animals for food, even while being kind to neighbors in other ways.
Ah, so a mix of actions.
Right. And because they lacked deep faith in Buddhism by then, they didn't automatically receive merit from general Buddhist offerings made in the village.
So general good wishes didn't reach them.
Not effectively. To actually help them, merit has to be specifically dedicated to them by name.
Wow. So the takeaway is that genuine belief and intentional action matter more than just the label you adopt. The conversion itself didn't just magically fix their karmic path.
Precisely. It really illustrates that profound truth. Just switching allegiance isn't enough. It's the depth, the intention behind your practice, plus your past actions that shape your destiny. Superficial changes don't override fundamental karmic principles.
Okay, that's a clear lesson. Now let's look at another story from the family, the listener's paternal grandmother. Her journey shows different karmic threads. She cared for the listener's mother for years, regularly observed precepts at the temple. So she was practicing Buddhism. But then they had a big falling out and the mother moved away. Before the grandmother passed, she kept asking for the mother. What happened to her?
Okay, so the grandmother, Kunyai. Because of her good deeds and her consistent observance of precepts throughout her life, she became a Jatuma Harachika Theptadasayak.
That's a mouthful. What kind of being is that?
It's a type of powerful female deity residing in the lower heavens. The Sayak part suggests a strong, kind of fiery temperament. She has a medium-sized golden palace, so her good deeds, her merit, definitely paid off.
But tempered by the anger.
Exactly. Tempered by the lingering anger from that falling out with her daughter. And this is significant. She carried that emotional state into the afterlife. Immense guilt for scolding and hurting her daughter, which led to their separation.
So she remembered it all.
Oh, yes. She desperately wanted to see all her children, especially the mother she argued with before she died, to reconcile, to ask for forgiveness.
So even in the afterlife, these unresolved issues, these regrets, they carry over. What's the implication of that?
It's profound. The implication is that if no apology or reconciliation happens, these kinds of situations, conflict, guilt, separation, they could potentially repeat in future lives between the same people.
Wow.
It really underscores how critical it is to try and resolve conflicts while we're alive, seek forgiveness, make amends. These emotional debts, you could say, they follow us.
That is a sobering thought, the
Yeah.
lasting impact of relationships. Okay, let's shift to the listener's brother. He had serious mental health struggles.
Right.
The listener suspected black magic. Indakong was involved after he started hanging around a wandering monk. He became erratic, ended up in psychiatric care. Was it black magic?
It's a common suspicion in such cases, but the teacher clarifies, no, it was not black magic. It was, from a past life, ripening and causing effects now.
A past life. How specific does it get?
Very specific. In a previous life, he was a young novice monk. He fell in with some naughty novices, and they secretly drank alcohol together, got intoxicated.
Just like that. Drinking as a young monk led to severe mental illness later.
That specific past action, according to the teacher's insight, directly led to his current mental instability and psychiatric issues. The karmic link is precise.
That precision is striking. So the solution is encountering magic. What should be done?
No magic involved. The solution lies in merit. The listener needs to make merit for him, specifically dedicating it to him by name to help alleviate the suffering.
Yeah.
And crucially, when he himself regains some awareness, he must start making merit and dedicating it himself. It's about directly addressing the karmic cause with positive actions, neutralizing the negative effect.
That's very practical, actually.
Thanks.
Addressing the root cause. Okay, another sad event. The brother-in-law's elder brother died suddenly.
Yes, quite travel.
Found in a hut in a field. Police called it sudden unexplained death syndrome, common in parts of Asia. He had dark green fingernails, apparently a sign. No ID on him.
So the family didn't know right away.
No, they only found his burial site and police photos much later. And they couldn't exhume the body because of a local belief against disturbing victims of unnatural death. A very lonely end. What's the karmic view here?
According to the teacher, his death occurred because his lifespan, his childhood, was simply exhausted. It ran out.
But why such a short life?
The karma accumulated from killing many large animals in a past life.
Ah, another specific link. And the loneliness. No relatives for the funeral.
That stemmed from a lack of merit specifically related to supporting relatives and caring for his parents in past lives. The absence of support at his end directly reflected his past neglect of family ties.
The echoes across lifetimes are just incredibly vivid. It's almost like a mirror.
It can be, yes.
Which brings us to the listener's own father again. He experienced a string of misfortunes. First, a robbery lost a lot of assets. Then, their tobacco curing hut burned down.
Right. Those events also had roots in past karma. In a previous life, the father was a farmer. He stole crops from neighbors.
Okay.
And worse, apparently out of dislike or enmity, he burned down their barns. So the principle, as you sow, so shall you reap, played out very directly. Loss of his own property mirrored his past actions.
The malicious intent coming back to him.
Exactly.
And then later, he had that severe car accident. Broke his right leg and arm. Was there a specific karmic cause for that too?
Yes, there was. Very specific again. In a past life, he got into an argument with a neighbor. He couldn't lash out at the owner directly, so instead he took a large stick and hit the neighbor's cow, breaking its leg.
He hurt the animal instead.
Yes. And when that karma ripened in this life, it resulted in a similar injury to his own body. His right leg and arm broken in the accident.
Wow. Even down to the limbs involved. That pattern of karma mirroring the past action is, well, it's astounding. Does karma often work in such directly mirrored ways?
It can manifest in many ways, but these are certainly potent examples showing that principle of direct karmic reflection. The more specific and intentional an action, especially harmful ones, the more precisely its consequences might echo later. It's a powerful reminder that our actions, big or small, aren't forgotten. Cause and effect.
Definitely food for thought. Okay, this brings us to your path forward, listener. You mentioned being burdened by overwhelming debt. What's the karmic take on this financial struggle?
Your current situation with debt is seen as stemming from two main things. First, your he-gangskathon, which is the perfection of generosity, was apparently low in past lives.
Meaning not enough giving.
Suggests a history of not consistently cultivating generosity or sharing wealth, yes. And second, in this current life, there's also an element of overspending expenses exceeding income. It's a mix of past patterns and present choices.
Right. So how do you tackle that, karmically speaking? And is there a danger of making things worse, creating new bad karma?
Well, practically, you have to diligently reduce expenses and, crucially, find ways to increase income, expand your earning
Makes
opportunities.
sense.
But beyond the practical, you must consciously accumulate more key. Okay. Make acts of generosity a regular, consistent part of your life. And here's the really important point about new karma. Do not rationalize the debt.
What do you mean?
Don't fall into the trap of thinking, oh, maybe this creditor owed me from a past life, so I don't really have to pay them back. That mindset, if you act on it by not repaying, creates fresh negative karma. Ah, okay.
You must repay gradually, make a sincere effort, while also making merit through generosity. It takes both practical effort and spiritual cultivation. Ethical repayment is absolutely key.
That's a critical point about responsibility. Don't use past lives as an excuse. Okay, speaking of merit, the listener's parents, they made merit, kana-kun, according to their mood, inconsistently. What was the result of that?
That inconsistency led to an unstable life for them. Sometimes they connected with the Sangha, sometimes they didn't. This resulted in a lack of consistent prosperity and stability.
And their practice.
Same thing. Their meditation practice was sporadic, so it only yielded moderate results, mostly just some self-help benefits. The lesson here is clear. Consistency and diligence in practice and merit-making are vital for stable, positive outcomes. It's like anything inconsistent effort brings inconsistent results.
That really drives home the importance of steady commitment. Okay, now, for you, the listener, what about guiding your relatives? Can you be a kalyanamit, a spiritual friend to them? Oh, absolutely. You can definitely be a kalyanamit. Your role would be to clearly explain that life depends on one's own actions, on karma, not on the will of some external god or spirit.
And explaining about sin.
Yes, explaining that no one can just wash away sins. Only creating merit according to the right principles and understanding can counteract or mitigate negative karma.
What do you need to do that effectively?
You need a strong grasp of the teachings yourself, first and foremost. Plus, immense patience and calmness. Some relatives, if their past merit allows, they'll understand, they'll get it.
But others might not.
Exactly. Those whose merit hasn't quite ripened yet might raise what the teacher calls floating questions.
Floating questions like what?
Like, well, who created the world then? Questions that aren't really seeking understanding but are more for debate, leading nowhere productive.
Right, the kind that can go on forever.
Precisely. You have to be prepared to gently let go of engaging with those who aren't truly ready to listen. It can just drain your energy.
That question, who created the world, must come up a lot. How does the teacher advise handling that? It sounds like a classic debate trap.
It absolutely is. And the teacher's advice is very direct. This question is ancient, predates the Buddha. There's no easy answer through intellectual debate. Arguing about it is pointless.
So what's the alternative?
Forget the question for now. Instead, focus your energy on practicing meditation. Develop Mainkan Dharma Eye, that clear spiritual insight, and attain the vision of wisdom, direct intuitive understanding.
So find the answer inside.
Exactly. When your own mind becomes neutral, pure, and gains insight through direct experience, then you will know the answer. Not by believing someone else, but through your own realization.
That's a powerful shift. From belief to knowing through experience. Okay, and finally for you, the listener, given everything we've discussed, what's your potential in this life?
The teacher indicates that you, as the eldest daughter, have a profound opportunity. You could potentially attain Ka'amgren at the Dhammakaya,
Which is
a state of deep inner enlightenment, the body of truth, reached through dedicated meditation practice, following the correct principles consistently.
So enlightenment is possible in this lifetime.
The potential is there, yes, if you are diligent. The advice is to continue making all types of merit, generosity, precepts, meditation without fail, and to aspire to be reborn in
Dusit Biri, a special, highly meritorious heavenly realm where beings often await their next enlightened rebirth. So your potential is significant, but it really hinges on consistent effort and staying true to the path.
Wow. We've certainly covered a lot, journeyed through this really compelling family story today. From that initial fear-driven conversion
Right, with Pooh, Ya, the uncles and aunts.
to all these nuanced karmic explanations, the father's trials, the grandmother's deep regrets, the brother's struggles, the brother-in-law's sad end. It's a lot to take in.
It really is. But the profound lesson running through it all is undeniable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every action, every choice, it leaves an indelible mark.
Our understanding of true spiritual principles, making merit consistently, taking personal responsibility, these are the anchors, especially in a world so often swayed by fear and, well, misunderstanding. It's about seeing that deep interconnectedness of cause and effect.
Yeah. This deep dive really shows how personal karma weaves through collective family destiny. So as you, our listener, reflect on these stories, maybe consider this. What seemingly small actions in your own life, past or present, might be shaping your journey, shaping the destiny of those around you.
Hmm.
And perhaps more importantly, what intentional choices can you make today to navigate your path with more wisdom, more generosity, more peace? Choices that could potentially alter not just your future, but the whole karmic landscape for your family, maybe for generations to come.